Potential WCA events. Okay, I think should we start with shape mods or cuboids? I'm thinking more cuboids. So automatically 1 by 2 by 3 gets S tier. That one's a pretty easy one. I think it'd be a good spectator event. You go middle first, then top, then bottom. Pretty simple. Very good spectator event. Okay, next up. 3 by 3 by 2. I have heard of this one. I forgot how you solve it. I think it'd also be a good spectator event, but I'm just not sure if it looks really cool. Like the 1 by 2 by, like the 2 by 2 by 3 looks pretty cool. Maybe A tier. I'm gonna give it A tier. 2 by 2 by 4. Not exactly sure. Never heard of this one. So is it like you saw? So is it like the 2 by 2 by 3 where you solve the first 2 middle layers, then the top and the bottom, and since it's 4, can you get parity? I think you can. I think this would be a really cool one. Same with 2 by 2 by 3. S tier, good spectator event. 3 by 3 by 4. This one has parity, and I think it's a fun. I think it looks fun. I think this would be, although I think this would be a more drawn out process than like 3 by 3. But maybe it could also be the same length as 4 by 4. I'm gonna give it S tier. We're done with the cuboids. I think we are. Yeah. Okay, next on 2 by 2 blind. This I think is actually impressive because, and I think it'll be easier than 3 by 3 blind because you don't have to memorize the edges. I think for this one you just memorize the corner algorithms. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be a cool spectator event. S tier. Next up, Mirror Cube. Okay, I have a bit of a rivalry with Mirror Cube, at least as becoming a WCA event. I don't hate it. I think it's a pretty cool puzzle. I have a 2 by 2 Mirror Cube, and I think it's a pretty fun puzzle to solve. But I've seen Cube, but I'm just not sure. I think it'd be too easy. Like the way you go about solving it is a 3 by 3, and I've heard Z3 cubing say that standardization you don't have on this cube, and because like some of them have textured lines, some of them have different varying heights of pieces. Well, he said that if some speed cubing company made different heights of pieces, it could still be in the defined limits of Mirror Cube, but then it isn't. So but then those textured lines, he said, just treat it like a corner twist on a 3 by 3 and treat it as a DNF. I think it's a pretty good one, but I don't really see it as a. But I'm gonna give it a B tier because it's a good cube. A Mirror Cube blind. Now this is actually pretty fun. You're thinking, oh, it's cheating. She can't. Because you can feel the puzzle, so you don't have to memorize any hard algorithms. Well, the difference is that you go by shapes. You have to feel around for the shapes. You don't look at it like, okay, that shape goes there. You have to look at them and you have to feel them and be like, okay, this shape fits here, so I gotta do this. And I think it'd be a cool spectator event, but once again, standardization, it'd be hard. Okay, next up, the Fisher Cube. Okay, I like Fisher Cube. It's a fun puzzle. I'm getting one in 2022, along with a couple more puzzles on this list. And I think it's a pretty cool puzzle. It can get pretty scrambled, including shape-shifting, so I think it'd fill in another role of a shape-shifting puzzle. I give it S tier. PLL time attack. This is a bit of a controversial one because some cube timing websites have PLL time attack on there, but it's like if you don't know how to do CFOP, you're screwed. I mean, if you do ZZ and you use PLL as the thing to finish it off with instead of the other stuff that you could learn with ZZ, you might be able to just, but with Root, you don't know any PLLs, so it's not a compelling one, F tier, because I think it'd be more biased to CFOP solvers, and it'd be a really, like, gatekeeping events, sort of. So F tier to that. Next up, Curvy Copter. I quite like the concept of Curvy Copter. I'm gonna also bring up Z3 Cubing's video on, like, he said that on his, like, top 5 potential WCA events, he said that the WCA should ignore jumbling and treat it as a corner twist, saying it's not allowed to do jumbling, and that means there's no jumbling in Scramble. But the point of that, if it's kind of like saying that if you scramble up a square one, you should only do scrambles that keep it in a cubic shape. That takes away the challenge of square one. But I quite like Curvy Copter. I'm one of the, like, I'd love to see it as a WC event. S tier. Let's see, some more cube ones. Gear Cube. This one is easier than it looks. You may think, oh, I go about solving it like a normal 3x3. No, you can only do 180 degrees moves like a square one. However, it doesn't shapeshift, making it a bit easier. And this is actually easier than a 3x3 because of only 180 degree moves. It just means a lot fewer possible combinations that the pieces can be in. I think it'd be really cool. The world record currently is like the same as a 3x3, so I think it'd be a good event. S tier. Re-Scramble. I don't really think this is a compelling one. It's a fun challenge. I'd give it a D tier just because it's fine. I just have nothing against. I just don't personally want to see it. 4x4 one hand. I think your hand will get pretty cramped. It's not as bad as PL time attack. I just don't see it being good. I'm gonna give it an E tier. Let's move on to some N by N. So 6x6 blind. Automatically F tier along with 7x7 blind, just because, like, we already have 4x4 and 5x5 blind. I think those should be removed just because it's so, like, all those pieces. I can't imagine how one even memorizes all those pieces. But if you do, props to you. Good job. I just don't think we should add 2 more of those. Let's move on to adding some more N by N puzzles. So 8x8 and 9x9. This is gonna be a weird order. I'm gonna give 8x8 C tier and 9x9 B tier, just because I don't feel like more N by N events should be added for now. Just because, like, the reason a 9x9 is in B tier along with Mirror Cube is I have nothing against it, and I quite like the puzzle. It's just that it's just gonna be so hard, or just there's a lot of issues with it. B tier is just, like, good, but a lot of issues with it. 9x9, just, like, the amount of time it would take you to solve it, and along with 8x8, imagine trying to do parity on this. Just no. Out of that, let's move on to the oh, we got 2 more cube shapes. The Ready Cube, S tier automatically. It's a fun puzzle to solve. It's pretty intuitive, and I think it'd be a good beginner event. I just really wish that more companies were making it, because a lot of people were wanting it to get into the WCA originally, but because it's only being made by Moyu, the WCA probably won't allow it because there's no competition, and, like, there's a stickerless version, yes, but we don't have magnets in it, and I really think this cube would really benefit from magnets. We get speed cubable ones. I really hope that other companies make it. Just please make it. This is like an X cube. I wanted to say windmill cube, but windmill cube has, like, the square one bars, like, on the sides instead of white and yellow. Like, on white and yellow it looks pretty normal, but on the rest of the layer, like the middle layer, it looks like a square one, like middle layer of that bit. I think it's pretty cool looking. I'm gonna give it an A tier. Okay, next up, non-cube. Oh, we got one more. Ivy Cube. It's too quick. It'd be like 2x2. Maybe a bit of a spectator event. There's some decent speed cubable ones out there. I'm gonna give it an A tier just because it looks pretty cool and it's not too difficult to solve. Now we move on to the non-cube ones. Megaminx blind, same with 6x6 and 7x7 blind, automatically F tier just because why? Why would you force upon yourself the challenge of memorizing all pieces on a Megaminx? Out of all of them, why? Pyraminx, automatically S tier just because it'd fill in the role of another Megaminx type event without being like this with blind and not taking too long as like Master Pyraminx. I think that'd be really cool. World record right now is like 9 seconds. That's about the same time. That's like 6 seconds slower than a 3x3 one. I think this would be a cool spectator event and really awesome. Next, Master Pyraminx. Automatically S tier as well because, like, we already have Pyraminx, and Pyraminx is a really quick event. What's the problem with adding an extra layer and making it a better, making it just a tad bit better of an event? Next, I don't know what to call this one. I don't know it. But I think, is this like a Pyraminx with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is this like a Pyraminx with 5 sides or something like that? Or is it like a D8? I'm not exactly sure. I think it'd be a somewhat challenging event. I'm gonna give it a D tier just because I don't want to judge it. Master Pyraminx. C tier along with 8x8 because I think you can get parity on this as well, and it'd just take too long, unlike regular Pyraminx. This thing looks like a monstrosity. This thing looks so difficult. Automatically F tier. This one gets F tier as well, just because who'd want to solve either of these? And there you go. That's my tier list of potential WCA events. I wish Ghost Cube were on here because I really think Ghost Cube could add a lot of fun to the WCA. Just because Ghost Cube, you go about it solving like a 3x3. However, like all the pieces are a different shape, but if you look at it, you can start to see patterns emerge. Like you can find two opposite, like you can find the centers and then corners and edges and whatnot. Sorry. Sorry about that. But personally, I'd like to see Ghost Cube added to the WCA. I don't think a lot of people would agree with that, but I want like 3x3 and 2x2 Ghost Cube just because I think it'd be really fun. But that's it for my video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so next year you can be notified when I get, because I am so close to being able to commission a proper fursuit, and I'll be coming at you with some new cubes in 2022. So this is Jacques signing off.